received copies of that email from several parents this week, outraged at the way.
Yes, it's the same it's always been, and I get these comments all the time for it, which is tax the churches. That's one thing we do, is tax churches. These need to be treated as different organizations and should lose tax-free status. Churches don't need tax-free status anymore. We're not in that time in the world where there are these impoverished things doing charity, because they're not doing charity anymore. And I know some may argue, well, they run a soup kitchen. Yeah, that's not enough charity. Sorry, you're going to have to do more than that. Unless you're running a soup kitchen every night of the week and you're feeding every homeless person and housing them. Nope, you don't get your tax-free status. But beyond that, this is where organized religion needs to end. It needs to be done. It is a bygone remnant of a past world that doesn't exist anymore and doesn't need to. There is no clean church anymore. Okay? There are congregation members that may mean well. There are congregation members that may want to do good. But if you're one of those congregation members and your church is doing evil and you're just sitting idly by and doing nothing, or not being aware of what they're doing and ignoring it, you're just as bad. You are. I don't care how well-meaning you are. I don't care how well you do to help people. If you're participating in a congregation or with a church that's doing nefarious things, you're just as bad. There is no church anymore. None. And go watch that video, because it's basically a pastor, taking aim at autism again. But there's no church that's good anymore. They're not. The pastors have their own agendas. And I know that there are smaller groups where people are like, but my small neighborhood church, it isn't a problem. No, small neighborhood churches are a problem too, because those small neighborhood churches often align their views with what the people in that neighborhood want. That is not necessarily good, right? Because in the majority of the neighborhoods that I've been in with small churches, they tend to not like people of color in the neighborhood, not liking people from LGBTQ communities in their neighborhood, and under the name of God decide they're going to harass those people. Under the name of their God, they're going to make life hard for those people. I live in a community with a small church. It's hard to avoid. We've tried to have a pride flag out. It gets ripped off in the neighborhood. Can't imagine it's the person that's not aligned with a religion that's doing that. So these small churches allow people to stay in their small minds, and churches in general do that, right? They reinforce negativity. So these need to be done away with. They're nothing better than just cults that haven't caught on with too many people. And they're constantly trying to get new numbers with stuff. Constantly trying to get children involved. It's just gotten bad. So there are no good churches. There's no argument that your church is good, better, or they're not. Either you are unaware of what's going on or haven't seen it yet, but I guarantee you the leader of your church group is into something. They always are. It never fails. We have stories every other week about another church that's got a problem. So, I'm tired of the argument that churches are making things better. They're not. And if you claim you need your church because it makes your life better, you need to get some therapy or something. If you need a church to tell you right from wrong, you've got more serious issues than a church is going to be able to help with. And that's been the long-standing argument, is that, without God, how am I supposed to live? And get some morality. You need morality is what you need. But I'm tired of you upholding churches as somehow they're helping when they're not. It just allows you to be comfortable in your own bigotry is what it is. So get rid of these churches. Churches like that, like what's in the video I stitched, those need to be done away with. Tax-exempt status ripped. They need to be taxed really high for it. We'll see how many congregation members stick by when that pastor can't afford his private goods, his fancy suits, and the congregation is being taxed for the taxes that have to be paid out. We'll see how long that lasts. Again, there's a simple fix for that too. If you don't want your church to be taxed, you actually have to start doing meaningful outreach. And I mean meaningful. You need to actually help the people that you claim you care about, but that's not going to happen. So I would see a lot of churches closing down, but won't happen because that's not the country we're in, but anyway.